With a population of about 36 million people, the Southeast is awash with stories. Every day on Southeast News, we tell the peculiar story of the Southeast and her people.
Our Southeast should be the Silicon Valley of Nigeria.
Their successes, achievements, and daily challenges. Do you have a Southeast story to share? Community achievements and challenges, completed and uncompleted projects, bad roads, water scarcity, erosion, flooding, insecurity, or even disagreements? Bring it on to Southeast News. On Southeast News, no story is too big or too small. Southeast News. Let's tell our story. Showing on Signature TV every weekday at 4 p.m. WAT, 1600 hours GMT.
We are local.
International communities observing
Why the main market is in chaos. People are...
We are national.
Those in support of this motion as amended, say aye.
Aye.
We have taken the vote by default.
We are international.
Israeli airstrikes.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
Welcome back. And now we know that JAMB recently changed its admission standards and a minimum cutoff mark into admission for tertiary institutions in the country. And, you know, this has raised a lot of concerns and sparked a lot of conversations around academic quality and, you know, just how the tertiary education space is going to look like. Now, to shed more light on this, with me in the studio this morning is Engineer Silvanus Onovo. He's an edupreneur and administrator. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming.
My pleasure. Happy to be here once again.
We're happy to have you once again. Now, looking at these changes, you know, in the cutoff marks, what exactly is how do you interpret these changes? What's your perspective on, you know, both for, you know, there are different cutoff marks for university, colleges of education, police. So what is your, you know, your view on that and how it would affect the academic space?
That's zeroing into particular cutoff for universities and for the institutions.
For the institutions and the admission standards generally, yeah.
What is playing out at JAMB actually at this moment is that JAMB seems to want to go back to the original standard, because JAMB has been there. There has been a merit-based organization or examining body. Okay, so up to now, JAMB has been competitive exam, but along the line, you see many things. The environment, the corruption in the system, watered down the meritness of JAMB, and now they seem to come back. So for those of us that have been there for a long time, we now know that they are coming back to do what they really should do. Okay, now making it merit-based, talking about ranks, talking about things like that, scores and ranks going together. They have been there. So if I should come down to the giving standard, giving this cutoff mark for the universities, I'll also say that if you look at other rules and they negotiated this period, to me it appears as if it's mere numbers, because the competitiveness of the exam and the population of people involved in the exam have raised that cutoff mark far high above the number they gave to universities and the colleges of education and nursing school. For instance, medical sciences, okay, they gave us enrollment data of 570,000 enrolled and 115,000 available. So when you look at this, you discover that before you come down to talk about 150 in that regards as a cutoff point, when people are having 300, 290, 280, then you discover that the issue at stake is not this one they gave to the universities. The issue will be those ones that the competitiveness of the exam have given to the system, and that is the case, zeroing it to the cutoff mark for the institutions.
Okay, well, talking about competitiveness, now seeing that already it's the JAMB examination and the candidates are very competitive, they are scoring higher. Why reduce it to 150 instead of increasing the bar a bit so that it will...
That's why I say it's mere numbers. Then the advantage it will give to the universities that the number of people that will come for post UTM will increase, maybe help them get more candidates. If they are making money with it, they will make more money. But for the effectiveness of it, with regards to the person that took JAMB, it's mere numbers.
Oh, okay. But now we're also seeing that a lot of people have mixed opinions, especially when it comes to the education, because the education was brought 100, and a lot of people are wondering that education is a course where we have professors and teachers, people that will go into the academic space to teach other people, these doctors and nurses and all the like. So what does it say about how we prioritize some? Yes, the
issue there is that even without the giving 100 to education, most people eventually would have tried some other courses even before they zero to education. In reality, in the real terms of it, so that when we are teachers, when you go to classroom and ask children, how many of you want to be a teacher? Everybody puts their hand behind their back because they don't want to become teachers. But teaching is a calling. So eventually they will come down. So sometimes within the JAMB level, they try course, try, then they come back and do the education. Okay? Then sometimes even when they finish and graduate, okay, they will now come and try again. They will still come back to education. Okay, so even when even if they didn't put 100, people will still come back to education. Not even based on the 100, but because that's the only option left for them. So maybe that's why they did it, so that if you are looking for opportunity, you still remember that there is somewhere to land. because it's always have
So,
latitude to accommodate everybody.
So education is now is like a backup plan now.
That's what our society made it.
Why? Why is it so?
Because of the teacher, the remuneration of teachers, the how you carry teachers in society. Teachers are no more placed where they used to be. They used to be leaders in society, in the real sense of it, opinion leaders. Any community you find a teacher, they are cherished, they are celebrated. Okay, so but as time went on, maybe government, because it was solely at the hand of the government, owing them things like that, their remuneration, not motivation, was just at the lowest ebb. So if you, first of all, male teacher drained away first. Then now female teacher that is remaining is now just a last resort.
Okay.
So that is about the education.
All right.
Yes.
Now, what about other institutions? Because aside from education, what about polytechnics as well? Because all of them are all on the level of 100. Now, why is it that the universities have a different cutoff mark? Polytechnics, you've already given a reason for colleges of education, but what about polytechnics as well? Why isn't there the same level playing field for?
It's the same thing playing at different levels. Same thing playing because universities. Remember, there was recently there's discrimination between degrees and HNDs. Okay, so when you do something like that, you create impression that what the other person is getting is higher than what the other person is getting. So the child coming up to pursue his career is interested in the best, and then what you will rate high. So I will not be surprised that universities are having higher this thing. And meanwhile, most of the medical courses and professional courses, engineering, law, that people are pursuing are in the universities mainly. So you see, you have to have a greater attraction. So just to give them a little high this thing, that's maybe the higher benchmark than the other people. But eventually, it is made that if you could not get to this, you come to this. Of course, when you are filling your JAMB form, you discover that you fill one option in university, one option in polytechnic, one option in maybe college of education, and so on. So it is then meant for you to know that if the other one could not work, the other one could work. But definitely, if you go to those forms they are filling, it's called that the first choice will always be university. Second choice polytechnic, then another one colleges of education, third choice and fourth choice. So that may inform the reason why they gave them that level of cutoff marks.
Yes. Now, do you know these cutoff marks that have been brought down? It has the potential of making students a bit laid back, right?
Okay, in terms of cutoff
yes, in terms of the effort they put into reading and trying to perform better, because it's now like, oh, they've been given a breather. It's now like, at least if I make it up to 100, at least I can. So do you think it's going to
cannot happen? Making 100 doesn't give you admission. Now, if you look at JAMB guideline proper, they say that from this time they will publish results and publish rank. Okay, every result will have results and rank. That rank means your national ranking, which means like when you are in school, you say, what is your position?
Yes.
You understand? Are you first? Are you second? Do you come third? So when the national rank comes now, what you are going to be seeing is that somebody that is not measuring up may discover that your rank, your position in the JAMB exam is 2 million or 1.5 million. So how will you be comfortable scoring 100 and scoring 1.5 million in the class? When you come home, your father say, what did you get this time? What's your position? You say 1.5 million in Nigeria. When somebody was first, another person was second, another person was third, 50, 100, 200. You left yourself to be 1.something million. No, you have failed yourself already. So I don't think it's a competitive exam ab initio. So it's expected that every child should be on his toes, read, prepare for your exams, and be on your top, on your best.
What about private universities? Because we know that private universities some of the time don't follow that exact cutoff mark. They can take people that are below that cutoff mark. So what do you think this would also have any impacts on private universities?
The JAMB is also supervising private universities, and the cutoff mark they give applies to them also. You understand? Though if we have a liberal education system, I don't think they should go and be strict on private universities on who they admit and who they don't admit, provided the person has passed the UTME. If you pass UTME, I'm of the opinion that you can walk up to any private university. I want to be here. They give you their own standards. If you saw, they admit you. That's my take. But then JAMB is supervised. They are part of everything JAMB has said now. They are fully part of it. They are monitoring them too.
Okay, so you're of the opinion that are you specifically talking about just private universities, or do you think that it should also be adopted by public universities? The idea of each school should have their own what they require.
Public universities are not business universities. Private universities are universities in business. Do you understand? They are in business. So public universities are government university, for instance, in quotes. You understand? So the regulatory body, JAMB in this case, for admissions, should regulate them. But coming to private universities, which is a business, somebody's investment, he positions it, prepares the scope, knows what he's going for, and what he wants to produce out of children. And as a matter of fact, they should be allowed to operate within the area of their distinctive competence, so that this one is measuring in this course, another university should be measuring another, not covering it, trying to cover everything. So if that is the case, then they should be allowed to do this, giving certain level of liberality or liberation. Private university, but public university need to be monitored even in that environment, so that you know that you are going to private university if you are not interested in public university. If you are interested in public university, you leave private university alone. That's my thing.
Now, some people have the opinion that the JAMB exam in general is not even necessary. Some people have the opinion when you have your WAEC, you go for your UTME or whatever, and if you pass, you go. Why? Or because there are a lot of hassles around JAMB, some result issues, CBT issues, network issues, and the like. So, what is your opinion on that?
The issue there is not this thing. It's the working of the system. Even if you are coming out from the secondary school, you will have the feeling, even if we are not there, there should be an entrance exam to the university. It should be there by intake. JAMB should be there, but then they should, if they should be competent, they should use merit, as they are trying to emphasize now, and allow JAMB to be competitive, as it were, and then supervise the operations of the universities in making admissions. You understand? You don't remove them as a body. But the system they are using, each time they come up with, sometimes there's lacunas, there's loopholes where easily the social policy can fail, like we have seen already in this one.
Yes.
We have seen already. There's some of them, the calling rules that are not, if you work on them, it's called that it's going to give room for people to still manipulate. So I want to tell you that. Then you look at they talk about age limit. Age limit should be 16. Okay.
Yes.
Now, I don't have any problem with age limit. It's very good because it's child-centered. You understand? It's child-friendly. It's protecting the child. The child should mature before you enter university. Now, but they came down somewhere and gave age exception, saying that if you are a gifted child, you can be given, you can enter. Who is a gifted child? Who is a gifted child? They say it's somebody that's got 80% UTME, SSE, and P and post UTME.
Yes.
Is that how to determine a gifted child? And who is a gifted child? Gifted child, even if he's a gifted child, why should you pull him among his age mates and take him up to where he did not belong? to go and compete with them, which means you are not comfortable with his excellence. You want to take him where he will become normal. You understand? So what I suggest there is that that gifted child should remain with his mates and be an excellent student among your equals, among your mates, among your generation, if you take it far. So that when your generation comes, they say, this boy has been excellent. And you excel among him. Immediately you pull him as a gifted child and take him to the age where he does not belong, he becomes not an excellent child. He starts struggling to meet up with people that are not his age mates. You understand? So that is it. Then talking about the 16 years old. Now discover why it's good is that at every level of every age, there's level of there's a match between that age and curriculum. So that's what a child is supposed to learn at age 2, age 3, age 5, age 6, age 11. So if you miss it, any of them, the child is losing. So to allow the child to go through the rudiment means you are trying to protect the child. But parents want to jump that. They will come and tell you, I want my child to enter university, to enter secondary school from age 4, from primary 4, basic 4. You understand? And that's where that age discrepancy comes. So when your child enters secondary school, at primary 4, meaning age 10 or 9 or 10, what happens? He comes out of university, out of secondary school at 15, 14,
Yeah,
15.
14, 15.
14, 15. And he wants to enter university. He has jumped many fundamental developments, learning.
But what about situations whereby, like you mentioned, gifted child or gifted children? Now, there are some children that are actually, their IQ or their intellectual capacity is quite above their peers. And when they are in the same classroom, what their mates are still struggling to learn, they've learned it, and they've gone beyond that. Why keep them behind?
They are staying among his generation. He's staying in his class
when the person is already doing what people in a higher class are doing.
Being excellent, that's not the thing. You know a gifted child when the child comes out of school by the product, what he's doing after school. A gifted child is not gifted child in the school because of the speed with which he came out of school. It's not speed that you came out of school that determines where you are gifted. It is the product, what you carry when you finish school. What is your performance? What are you able to do? How can you transform that knowledge to reality, to produce for productivity in the society? And you don't know it while the child is in school. And a gifted child can, talent varies. Somebody can learn, most of the things you do at that level, memorization. You are learning, the teacher teach, you're able to remember it, you write it, you pass. You score 100. Is that excellence? If somebody can distinguish in them, what you do, you guide the person. See, this person may show distinction in life. You guide the person until they graduate. When they enter now, meanwhile, you may change level and that excellence will change. You may enter university, that thing you think is a gift, you will not cope up with the tensions and rudiments of the university. So I am of the opinion that no child will be labeled gifted child below his age, unless the person is 18 years and start proving it in his area of field and that I'm gifted. You will now see it. And my child is gifted. He went and created value for society, created value there. Not gifted child because he was able to memorize more than others.
Okay, so in your opinion, what age should someone enter the university?
16. JAMB was correct in that. That's why I said that I love that. 16, okay, it's okay. If you follow it, 3 kindergarten, 6 primary, 6 secondary school. That is it.
But most schools don't even have 6 again. 6 primary.
It's that same problem that caused it. They want their child to take common entrance from primary 5.
But the child will still graduate at 16.
No, it's not about age. It's not about the issue here is this. The child should do If you have patience and do 5, 6, your age will correspond to JAMB standard.
Okay.
If you jump it within that period, you will come early and miss JAMB. JAMB will start quarreling with JAMB for the problem your parents caused. Remember, this child is not the person taking decisions. He doesn't know. The parents are the one taking decisions for their own convenience. Do you understand? They are taking for their own confidence. I want my child to graduate and meet up the vacancy I have for him. I want my child to graduate fast because he's my only child. I want him to meet me before I enter pension. You know, things like that. These are the consideration of the parents. It does not concern the child. They will be struggling. They can even go to do exam malpractice to get 100%, provided the child moves at their own pace. What about the child's interest? Child needs to develop properly, stage by stage, until you become somebody that you start taking decision on yourself. If you come to the society, if you want to jump everybody and become fair, try it. Go and become gifted child in society when you come out with proof that you excelled in school. Not your parents coming to say you're a gifted child, Boom, they jump age, they jump class for their confidence, not considering the interest of the child.
Okay. So now, from all that you've said, both from the age and the cutoff mark, now, how do you see these new JAMB standards, improving our education system, particularly tertiary education, in terms of quality of education and quality of graduates as well?
It will, because it is what it simply means that from the beginning, from entrance point, you have screened out the best. If you are fair, if you are true to your commitment, that is going to be strictly by merit. So when that happens, it means the people that are coming to the university are people that are already seriously minded and ready to excel. Then, but what happens here now is that when people circumvent this thing, and like JAMB, I read that JAMB added, said that 90% is going to be by merit, then the 10% is by runs. What does that mean? It's creating a lacuna for this for corruption, a factor of corruption, because that 10% is big. Every 5,000 candidates have 500 unmerited. That's per se on runs. So people, if such people infiltrate the university, they are going to pollute the system. If you have this room full of eggs and only one egg is smelling, the whole room will be smelling egg. So when you have university, you have admission in the whole university, you have 5,000 and you admitted 500 by runs, which means they may not meet up, they don't have standard, they will still be putting the effect is so bad.
Yeah. Now
look at a lecturer. I mean, a lecturer carries this impression now to the school. I say, okay, in this class, I am having you, let me second MB, for instance, medical produce. This class is strictly on merit. 90% of you are going to pass on merit, 10% by sorting. Does it sound correct? Is it not? Is it good? Which type of medical doctor will produce by sorting? 10% is big. So the one of the loopholes I saw in the current JAMB review.
Okay.
They should say JAMB admission is strictly on merit. Just say it. Even if a professor have a quota, it should be on merit. Anybody know anything should be on merit. Nobody should there should be no runs.
Exactly.
You understand?
All right. Thank you so much, Engineer Silvanus Onovo, for this wonderful conversation. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
It's a pleasure to have you as well.
Thank you.
All right, that is it for our conversation surrounding the JAMB admission standards into tertiary institutions in Nigeria. And coming up next is Political Circle with Luke Umbo.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking, events occur, and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.